Welcome back to Williams Field in Charleston, Illinois. Game number 2 of an OVC doubleheader between Eastern Illinois and SIUE. The first game was a marathon game, 11 innings, 3 hours, 50-plus minutes. Eastern Illinois, an RBI single with bases loaded by Riley Dittmar in the bottom of the 11th, gives the Panthers the 6-5 win in game number 1. Second game of the doubleheader is about to be underway here. Let's take a look quickly at the batting order for SIUE. Is presented by Delta Dental. Unleash your smile with Delta Dental. Cougars have jumbled up their lineup a little bit here in this inning, as Grace Leakey will lead off and play third base. Bailey Concado batting second. Lexi King in the 30 spot. Lauren Isalva is batting fourth, playing right field. Grace Brettveld is batting fifth, playing first base. The left fielder is Jenna Herron batting sixth. Erin Talley is the shortstop batting seventh. Mia Haynes, who just threw a good inning, good game in relief, the designated player batting eighth. And Amber Storer will do the catching, batting in the 9 spot. That is the order for SIUE, 1-9 for the Cougars. That's presented by Delta Dental. The defensive lineup is brought to you by Ticket Smarter for Eastern Illinois. Doing the catching is Lindy Milkowski. First base is Rachel Kaufman. Second base, Hannah Cravens. Third base, Maddie Swart. The shortstop is Megan Burton. Left to right in the outfield, you have Morgan Lewis, Jalen Pritchard, and Kendall Fields for Eastern Illinois. The starting pitcher for EIU, it's brought to you by Jostens, is Alexa Riemeyer. She is a freshman for Eastern Illinois. 10-8 on the season. This is her 18th start, a 3.69 ERA. First pitch to Grace Leakey. Yeah, you guys can't put this shit up after I've already done it now. So Riemeyer, 1-1 count. Strike 2. The count is 1-2. Philip Troutman, the home plate umpire. Jerry Llewellyn is over at first. Michael LaRaviere is at third base. That pitch misses inside. 2-2 count from Alexa Riemeyer. Lights are on here at Williams Field. It'll be a little while before the sun goes down, but it will probably be before we are done with this game. Riemeyer, 91 strikeouts this season and 91 innings pitched, so 1 strikeout per inning for the freshman. That pitch fouled back to the screen. Grace Leakey walked 4 times in the last game. She was officially 0 for 2, did score 1 run. Struck out in her 2 other plate appearances that she did not draw a free pass. That ball off the hands, fouled out of play. So Leakey leading it off. She'll be followed by Bailey Concado. That pitch just misses inside. Full count. Lexi King in the 3 hole after Concado, who's on deck. That ball's fouled out of play again. Good at bat here from Leakey to open up the game. 8 pitches already. Pitch is up high, and 5th time today that Grace Leakey has drawn a walk in the doubleheader. It will bring up Bailey Concado. Walks were an issue for both teams in the last game, as EIU drew 6 walks off of 3 SIUE pitchers, 9 walks for SIUE off the 2 pitchers for Eastern Illinois. Concado hitting .250 now on the year. Pitch misses outside. Nobody throw freaking strikes. All night. Myers pitch in the dirt, gets away. Wild pitch there. Okowski still throws down, trying to get Leakey, but able to advance there on the wild pitch. 2-0 the count. Bailey Kincado with a runner now in scoring position. Lexi King, the best hitter on the SIUE roster, is on deck. Pitch to Kincado. She offered at that. Called strike. Kincado on the season does have 4 sacrifice bunts. Possibility to lay one down here, and does lay down the sack bunt. Swart barehands it over to first. Nice bunt there. Nice defensive play as well. Leakey moves down to third. 5th sack bunt of the year for Kincado. And it will bring up Lexi King. Starting pitcher in the first game for SIUE, left after the 4th, following a 2-run home run by Megan Burton. So no decision in that. Went out and played in center field. Batted for herself the entire game. That pitch is up high for a ball. King, the leading batter on the Cougars team, at .352 on the season. That pitch misses there. 2-0 the count. Richmond from Goreville. Called strike there. What can she not fucking figure out in the truck? Three-one count. Pitch misses outside. King draws a walk.
For the Cougars, number 9, Lauren Islava.
King draws a walk. Runners at first and third. Lauren Isalva at the plate. Isalva started the last game in right field. That pitch misses for a ball. 1-0. Pitch misses there. 2-0 the count. Runners at the corners here for SIUE in the first inning. Ball's lifted foul out of play. 2-1 the count. Pitching down in the dirt. Moving there was King. She'll pick up the stolen base. So 3-1 the count to Isalva. Last game, Isalva walked 3 times, looking to draw her 4th walk of the doubleheader. Called strike in on the letters. Count is full. Ball's ripped, foul. Looked like it might have got into the EIU dugout. They're checking to make sure everybody's okay in there. Myers pitch off the hands, and that's going to get down foul. Good at bat here for Isalva. Count now is full. Count is full to Isalva. Remeyer gets the signal. Delivers the pitch. Ripped foul again. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. Due up here. Runners at second and third here for SIUE. Cougars trying to jump out in front in the first inning. Pitch misses there, and Isalva draws a walk. Fourth time today she's been on a free pass in the doubleheader.
At bat number 16, Grace Brettveld.
Brings up Grace Brettveld. She pinch hit last game. Did Brettveld. Was 0 for 1 in a pitch hitting opportunity late in the game. Eastern Illinois won game number 1, 6-5 in 11 innings. A walk-off by Riley Dittmar. Head coach Tara Archibald out to talk to her defensive lineup here with the bases loaded. Brettveld came into the week hitting 200. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 runs driven in. He's had 0 for 1 earlier. Bases loaded here. Freshman starter for Eastern Illinois trying to pitch out of an early jam. Called strike. Brettveld, so 0-1 the count to her. Bases are loaded full of Cougars here. That pitch down in the dirt, good job of Milkowski scooping that up. They throw behind and almost get King at second base. And they're going to have a conversation about whether they may have got her out or not. The umpire who called her safe may not have thought he had the best view of it, so he's going to talk to the other 2 umpires, and they're going to confer. There is a good chance that they may call her out. They're going to call her safe. King still got back safely. Umpiring crew doing a good job there. Jerry Llewellyn realized he may not have had the best view of it. He just wanted to make sure that nobody else had seen something different than he did. That ball's popped up in shallow infield. Burton corrals it and makes the catch, and 2 down in the inning.
At bat number 5, Jenna Herron.
We'll bring up Jenna Herron. Aaron hitting .250 on the season. A left fielder today. Swing and a miss. Misses that fastball up top. Called strike. So 0-2 pitch coming up here from Remeyer. Bases loaded here. SIUE trying to get on the board in the first. Off-speed pitch, fouled back. Grace Leakey led it off with a walk. Lexi King also reached in a walk, as did Lauren Isalva. So all three Cougars that are on reached via free pass. Ball's on the hands, fouled back to the screen. 0-2, the count remains. Remeyer delivers. The ball's lifted into shallow left field. Tracking it is Burton in foul territory. She makes the catch, and the bases are left loaded. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Meet Renee, bank manager and mother. But when she gets on her bike, she becomes...
I love my new home, but it might be too Victorian.
Gosh, interesting hemline on there.
We love our new apartment.
There's too much pressure in the bathroom.
Good luck with the future.
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Chip get Sarah whenever she's ready.
Leading off for the Panthers, number 23, Morgan Lewis.
Welcome back to OVC Softball on ESPN+. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look quickly at EIU's batting order here, brought to you by Delta Dental. Lewis leading off. She'll be followed by Pritchard, Cravens, Burton, Kaufman, Milkowski, Swart, Fields, and Ditmar, who had the game-winning hit in the 11th in game number 1. That's EIU's batting order. It's brought to you by Delta Dental. The first pitch to Morgan Lewis is a ball. Get one more pitch in, and then we'll get you the defensive lineup, brought to you by Ticket Smarter. That pitch to Lewis is going to be deep in the hole, and that's going to be in there for an infield hit for Morgan Lewis to start off the first inning. Defensive lineup for SIUE, brought to you by Ticket Smarter, looks like this. Aaron Talley, who just made that play, is at shortstop. Grace Leakey is at third. Bailey Concato is at second. The first baseman is Grace Bretveld. Doing the catcher is Amber Storer. In the outfield, left to right, is Aaron. Lexi King in center. And Lauren Isalva is in right field. So Lewis with a leadoff single for the Panthers. Brings up Jalen Pritchard. Fouls off the first pitch she sees. Starting pitcher for SIUE is Kelsey Ray. She is 1-2 on the season, a 4.38 record. This is her third start of the season. She is a sophomore from Goreville, Illinois, transfer from John A. Logan. And going there on the pitch is Morgan Lewis. She'll be in for a stolen base as that pitch is a ball, 1-1 the count. The runner now at scoring position for Eastern Illinois. SIUE, they left the bases loaded in the first inning, did a good job of pitching by Alexa Remeyer, and 0-2 is actually the count. They're going to call that a strike to Jalen Pritchard. Hitting .320 on the season. That pitch up top. Kelsey Ray, the starting pitcher, right-hander for SIUE. Just our third start of the season. 33 strikeouts and 40 innings pitched. Ray delivers off-speed pitch outside. Lewis gets a big jump off the bag. Makes Kincato come over to make her come back. EIU with its 11th inning win snapped a 9-game win streak. Snapped a 9-game losing streak in OVC play. Moved now a 1 game ahead of SIUE in the league standings. Swing and a miss. Pritchard chased a fastball up over her head. First out of the inning. We'll bring up Hannah Cravens. Cravens, the OVC leader in home runs and RBIs coming into the day. 13 home runs, 42 runs driven in. Runner in scoring position, RBI opportunity out there with Morgan Lewis. Ball's fouled off down the left field line. It's going to get out of play. So Storer played first base in game number 1. Montgomery was the catcher in the first game. Piper Montgomery did the catching. But Bretteville, as we said, who's playing first base in the second game, she came off the bench for 1 pitch hitting opportunity. That pitch is up high. Talley also came off the bench as a pinch hitting opportunity late in that game, getting the start at shortstop here in game number 2. One pitch. Just fouled back to the screen. A 1-2 count to Hannah Cravens. Meg Burton on deck. She had a 2-run home run in the first game. That pitch up top, misses there, 2-2. Ray delivers, pitch fouled back to the screen. Ravens staying alive up there. It's fouled away again. Umpire Philip Troutman out of softballs needs to go over and replenish his supply. Four foul balls so far in this at bat for Pritchard. Sorry, for Cravens. Ray's delivery. Off speed, misses away. Full count to Hannah Cravens. Meg Burton on deck. Ray delivers. It's fouled off again. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up here. The ball's laced into center field over the head of King, the center fielder. Lewis is going to come all the way around. They're going to throw home. Stand-up double for Hannah Cravens. Lewis wasn't sure. King stepped in and then realized the ball was a little bit farther back than she thought. And it was over her head. RBI double off the wall. But Lewis had to hold up just for a second just to make sure.
For the Panthers, number 2, Megan Burton.
So Eastern Illinois on top, 1-0 here in the first. Bring up Meg Burton, who had a home run in the first game. Swinging a foul back to the screen there. Burton, graduate student from Danville. Ray's pitch, fouled off out of the way again, 0-2. Sun slowly setting back off behind right field now. First game was 11 innings, 3 hours, 50+ minutes. Panthers on top here, already 1-0 in the bottom of the first in game number 2. Trying to add to that lead right now as Burton pops that ball up out of play. Hannah Cravens right now with an RBI double to center field. For Cravens, that was her 17th double of the season. Came in 5th in the NCAA in doubles. Pitch to Burton. Fouled back again. Burton steps in, 0-2 count. Ball's ripped foul out of play. Philip Troutman's going to have to replenish his group of softballs again. Second time in this inning where he's had to run over and restock. Burton steps back in. Ray gets the signal from the SIU dugout. 0-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch, fouled back to the screen again. Two offering from Ray, off-speed pitch misses away. First ball in the count. Burton had fouled 4 other pitches back to the screen. Ray looks over to the dugout again. 1-2 offering. Burton delivers. That ball Lifted foul is going to carry and get out of play. It's another foul ball opportunity. Long at bat here for Meg Burton. Ravens had a long at bat before this. 21 pitches already here in the game. Off-speed pitch to Burton, foul back again. Burton hitting .303 on the season. Was 2 for 6 with 2 runs scored and a 2 RBI on the home run in the opener. One-two pitch to Burton. That pitch up top. 2-2. That pitch misses away. 3-2. Burton a big at bat here. 12th pitch of the at-bat about to take place. Swing and a miss. Burton down on strikes. Good at-bat, but couldn't connect there. Second strikeout of the inning for Ray. That will bring up Rachel Kaufman.
Rachel Kaufman.
Kaufman, the first baseman, .224 on the season. First pitch fouled out of play off to the right side. One pitch to Kaufman. That pitch up top, 1-1. Called strike, 1-2 the count. Ray's delivery to Kaufman. This is up top, 2-2. Eastern Illinois on top, 1-0. They scored 1 in the first. SIU left the bases loaded in their half of the inning. Kaufman pops it up. Tail back out of play. Strike 3, they call Kaufman out on the corner, and we will head to the top of the second. Eastern Illinois is able to score 1. EIU 1, SIU 0. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
You don't become a legend by being distracted. Legends are born out of discipline and focus. We are Legends Bank. Committed, strong, and growing stronger. Be part of something legendary. Legends Bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to OVC Softball on ESPN Plus. We head to the top of the second inning. Eastern Illinois on top 1-0. It'll be Talley, Haynes, and Storer for SIUE here
For the Cougars,
in the top of the
24,
second.
Aaron Talley.
Talley, 281 hitter on this season. Came in and had one pinch hit opportunity in the last game. Out in that one opportunity, starting at shortstop here in game number 2. That pitch off the end of the bat to Swart. Took a weird hop, or it was going to go foul, and it cue balled back into fair territory. Swart picked it up and threw her out at first, 1 down in the inning.
At bat number 13, Mia Haynes.
Brings up Mia Haynes. Haynes the DP here in this game, but in game number 1, she pitched 6 innings of relief. The 4th pitcher of the day for SIUE. Haynes did not have a plate appearance in the first game. It's the first time she swung the bat today. First pitch from Riemeyer up high. Myers delivery. This is up high again, 2-0 the count. That pitch misses away. 3-0 count from Riemeyer. The first inning, SIUE was able to load the bases on 3 walks against Riemeyer. Cougars drew 9 walks in the opener. Pitch is up high there for a ball. Haynes draws a walk. 4th walk issued by Alexa Riemeyer.
Number 22, Amber Storer.
Brings up Amber Storer. Catcher today in the second game, hitting 198. Started at first in game number 1. Number 9 batter in the order. Pitch misses away. 1-0 the count. Meyer delivers. Pitch is ripped foul down the third base line, out of play. 40 pitches now for Alexa Riemeyer. Lifted foul, out of play again. Ball's tapped at the front of the plate. Riemeyer fields it. The only play she has is over to first base, and they're able to get Storer out at first. Haynes moves up to second base with 2 outs.
99, Grace Leakey.
We'll bring up Grace Leakey. Walked 4 times in the first game. Walked to open up this game as well. Has been on 5 times today, all by free pass. Is 0 for 2 officially in the doubleheader. Strikeouts both of those 2 times. Does have 10 home runs on the season, the best power hitter on the Cougars team. Team high 32 runs driven in, 10 home runs, 6 doubles. Pitch up high, 2-0 count. First base is open if they need to pitch a little bit around. Offering from Remeyer, 3-0. Bailey Concato is on deck. She laid down a sacrifice bunt her first time up. And a big hit in game number 1 where she drilled a double off the fence. The 7th inning was thrown out at the plate. Trying to score what would have been the go-ahead run later in that inning. 3-1, a called strike there. Leakey. Meyer delivers. Called strike 2 at the belt. Count is full to Leakey. Meyer delivers. Fouled back to the screen. 48 pitches now on the day. Leakey steps back in. Remeyer delivers. Pitch is laced off the fence. That's going to be over the fence for a home run. 11th of the season for Grace Leakey, and SIUE is up 2-1. That ball looked like it was going to hit off the fence, and it was just high enough on the line that it gets out of the park. Cougars are on top 2-1. I think we're going to have a pitching change after that hit from Grace Leakey. Pitching change. We'll have Tegan Morio. We'll tell you all about her when we come back. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score some great savings on car insurance. Whoa! Oh, all in one.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
Be ready for any arena in the all-new LX600.
Oh, I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Welcome back to OVC softball on ESPN Plus with 2 outs here in the second inning. Pitching change, Tegan Morio, transfer from Ball State, originally from Mesquite, Illinois, will check in. Morio pitched well in relief this past weekend for the Panthers. On the season, this is her 19th appearance, 4-4 on the year, a 5.77 ERA. She will face Bailey Concado as her first batter. 1-1 count quickly to Concado, who laid down a sacrifice bunt her first time up. Off-speed bit misses there, 2-1 the count. Morio. That ball's laced into center field. Pritchard gets it on one hop. There's 2-out single for Bailey Concado.
At bat, number 2, Lexi King.
Brings up Lexi King. 2-1. SIUE leads Eastern Illinois here. A 2-run home run from Grace Leakey. Her 11th home run of the season. Morio's a ball up high to King. King hitting .352 on the season. Walked her first time up, stole a base. But in the first inning, SIUE left the bases loaded. That ball is hit sharply on the ground to Burton. Able to make the force play ahead to Cravens at second. But not before SIUE takes the lead on a Grace Leakey 2-run home run. SIUE 2, Eastern Illinois 1. This is OVC softball on ESPN Plus.
I love my new home, but it might be too Victorian.
Gosh, interesting hemline on those pants.
At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. I save so much.
Pardon me, Your Grace.
Oh, just call me Grace.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Jr. with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning, Eastern Illinois and SIUE. They played a marathon in game number 1. EIU winning 6-5 at 11 innings. We're now in the bottom of the second inning here in game number 2. It'll be Lindy Mikowski, Maddie Swart, Kendall Fields. As Lindy Mikowski, the first pitch she sees, laces off the fence for a stand-up double. Lindy Mikowski with a double to start things off. Let's take a look at the series history. It's brought to you by Legends Bank. Legendary service, extraordinary people. Legends Bank. EIU won the first game, as we mentioned, 6-5 in 11 innings. This is the 45 meeting between the two teams. SIUE leads the all-time series 27-17. They've won 2 of 3 this year against the Panthers. Maddie Swart, the third baseman, started last game catching. She will bat here with Mikowski at second base. First pitch to Swart is a ball. Pitch from Ray misses outside again. 2-0 the count. SIU has already gone to its bullpen. Delivery from Ray. Swart inside out swing down the left field line. That's going to get foul. Swart settles back in. Side out swing again. Fouls that back against the screen. 2-2 count. Ray out there for her second inning of work. Cougars have used all 4 pitchers that have pitched this season in today's game so far today. 3 in the game number 1. Off-speed pitch lifted to left field. Tracking it is the left fielder. Aaron, glove up, makes the catch. 1 down in the inning. Brings up Kendall Fields. Fields hitting .221 on the season. Also a transfer from Ball State. Pitch misses up high. On deck, Riley Ditmar, who had the big hit in game number 1. Swing and a miss there. Fields chases that pitch down out of the zone. One delivery from Ray. That misses away. 2-1 the count. Mia Haynes, who pitched 6 innings in game number 1, is down in the SIUE bullpen warming up. She is the designated player right now for SIUE as well. That pitch misses high. 3-1 the count. Ditmar on deck. Swing and a miss there. Fields big cut at that ball. Full count. That pitch misses high in the zone. Fields draws a walk. Brings up Riley Ditmar. Ditmar had the game-winning hit to right center field with bases loaded in the 11th inning in game number 1. It's the designated player in today's second game. Pitch up high to Ditmar. 47 pitches already here for Kelsey Ray. Ditmar turns to lay down a bunt and fouls that back to the screen, trying to catch everybody off guard there. Would have given up the sacrifice, but really kind of maybe bunting for a hit there in a surprise situation. Count 1-1 now. Top of the order due up next. Morgan Lewis, who singled and came around to score. In the top of the first, due up next for Eastern Illinois. Ditmar's ball is going to get past the first baseman all the way down to the corner, coming all the way around, digging home to score is Mukowski. A double down the line for Riley Ditmar. 2 big hits for the freshman in the game. We'll bring up Morgan Lewis. RBI double for Riley Ditmar. 6th double of the season for the freshman. 29th run driven in. Is up Morgan Lewis. Runners at second and third for Lewis if she can hit the ball in the outfield. Ditmar with decent speed at second base could give the Panthers 2 runs and anything hit to the outfield. 1-0 count to Lewis. Called strike. Ball's fouled back to the screen again. One, 2 the count to Morgan Lewis, hitting .359 on the season. Slaps that ball, and that's going to get past Talley at third. Coming home to score is Fields. Lewis advances on the throw, so single and advance on the throw there for her. Ditmar was running hard all the way. Fields wanted to make sure it got through, didn't want to get thrown out at the plate, so that's why it took her a little bit longer to get going to come home to score. But runners now at second and third again. Panthers on top 3-2, and Jalen Pritchard steps in. Pritchard struck out her first time up against Ray. Ray's delivery. Pritchard fouled back against the screen. 3-2 now, Eastern Illinois leads. Earlier this year, one of the games SIU played over in Edwardsville, 12-11 was the final score of that game. SIU won in the 7th inning. Off-speed pitch, fouled back again. So 0-2 the count. That pitch misses away. 1-2 the count. So 1-2 delivery from Ray, misses away. 2-2 the count to Pritchard. Try to get her to chase a pitch out of the zone. Ray delivers. Pritchard sails that to center field. Tagging is going to be Ditmar. Going to be a sacrifice fly for Jalen Pritchard. Ditmar did a good job of waiting. Head coach Tara Archibald told her when it was time to go. Tagged and was home to score. 4-2, Eastern Illinois now on top. Jalen Pritchard, first sacrifice fly of the season for her. RBI number 20. SIU with 3 runs here in the inning. Hannah Cravens now up. That pitch misses away. Cravens with an RBI double back in the first. Pitch fouled back against the screen. 1-1 the count. Off-speed pitch to Cravens. Lifted to left field. Tracking it is the left fielder Heron. She's going to make the catch, but EIU is able to score 3. They now lead 4-2 as we head to the third inning. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
I love my new home, but it might be too Victorian.
Gosh, interesting hemline on this. Pounds?
At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. I save so much.
Pardon me, Your Grace.
Oh, just call me Grace.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Be ready for any arena in the all-new LX600.
Bat number 9, Lauren Eslava.
Welcome back as we are in the third inning. Eastern Illinois and SIUE. Game number 2 of an OVC doubleheader here. Tegan Morier out there for her second inning of work in relief. She will face Lauren Eslava. Grace Bretveld. And Jenna Heron. Called strike. 1-1 the count. Morio came in the second, gave up a hit, and then got an out to get out of the inning. Pitch down in the dirt away. 2-1 the count. Eastern Illinois leads 4-2. Panthers with 1 in the first, 3 in the second. SIUE scored 2 in the second off a Grace Leakey home run to left center field. Ball's in the dirt. 3-1 the count. Sun is slowly setting here. Lights are on at Williams Field, and the temperature will slowly start to drop tonight from a very comfortable mid-60s and sunny. It's supposed to be down in the 40s tonight. Ball is fouled back against the screen. Count is full. Just fouled back again. Full count remains Egan Morio. Morio threw a no-hitter earlier this year for Eastern Illinois. Morio's pitch, that misses in the dirt. A leadoff walk for Usalva. Second time today in this game that she's walked, fifth time today.
At bat number 16, Grace Bretveld.
Grace Bretveld popped up in the infield her first time up. In first base here in game number 2. That pitch misses down low, 1-0 the count. Walks have been an issue today for Eastern Illinois and for SIUE's pitching staff. 9 issued by EIU in game number 1. 6 issued by SIUE in the first game. Called strike there. Here in game number 2, 5 walks issued already by EIU's pitching staff. Called strike, 1-2 the count. Runner at first is Usalva. No stolen bases this year. Pitch out of the zone, trying to get Bretveld to chase. Aaron on deck, Tally behind her. Pitch misses low again, full count. Morio delivers, that pitch misses inside. 2 straight walks to open up the third for SIUE.
At bat number 5, Jenna Herron.
Brings up Jenna Herron. Herron popped up in the infield her first time up. Big 250 on the season. Aaron from West Frankfort, Illinois. I think EIU is going to have another pitching change here before Aaron even bats. It looks like Coach Tara Archibald will make a change. We will have one. We'll be right back after this. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Jr. with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
Black.
Black is not to be told.
It is to unfold.
Blackness in full and at home.
And at home. In the landscape.
Welcome back to OVC Softball on ESPN Plus. Third pitcher of the game for Eastern Illinois, Rachel Kaufman. Redshirt sophomore right-hander from Seymour, Indiana, from Lakeland College. Was a junior college All-American over there. This season, 3-8 on the year. This is her 23rd appearance, 3.82 as they lay down a bunt. Kaufman fields it over to Stallhood, who came in to play defensively at first base. So bunt laid down nicely by Heron, and runners are at second and third.
At bat number 24, Aaron Talley.
Brett Ball moves up second. Isalva the third, and it will bring up Aaron Talley. Called strike. Talley grounded out her first time up. Called strike 2. 0-2 count quickly from Kaufman. Runners at second and third. Cougars trying to get a base hit and tie the game up here. Ball's popped up out of play, giving chase is Swart. She's going to run out of room over there and bang into the fence as the ball goes out of bounds. Count remains 0-2 to Talley. Talley, the shortstop from Spencer, Oklahoma. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes, 2 outs in the inning.
For the Cougars, number
Bring up
13,
Mia Haynes. Haynes walked and came around to score on the home run by Grace Leakey in the second. Pitched 6 innings in relief in game number 1. Just fouled back to the screen. Hayes on the season, a 135 hitter, 37 total at-bats, 5 hits. Does have 2 home runs, though. That ball's lifted in to right field. Camping out underneath it is Fields. She'll make the catch, and we will head to the bottom of the third. Eastern Illinois leads 4-2. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score some great savings on car insurance. Whoa! Oh, hole in one.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
Be ready for any arena in the all-new LX600.
Oh, I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
All right, go ahead.
Panthers, number 2, Megan Burton.
Welcome back. Welcome back to OVC Softball on ESPN Plus as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Eastern Illinois on top 4-2. It'll be Burton, Kaufman, and Milkowski due up here this inning for the Panthers. Burton struck out her first time up in the first inning against Ray, who's out there for her third inning of work. First pitch fouled out of play. 61 pitches already for Ray here in the game. SIU's already on pitcher number 3. Head coach Tara Archibald not wanting lead to get away from her here in the second game. Panthers won the first game 6-5. Walk-off single by Riley Ditmar in the 11th inning as Burton sails that ball to right field, but camping out underneath it is Isalva to make the catch for the first out of the inning.
At bat number 33, Rachel Kaufman.
Brings up the pitcher, Rachel Kaufman. Kaufman struck out her first time up, hitting .220 on the year. Most important focus for her the rest of the game, though, is probably in the circle right now. She can help herself at the plate. She does as she smashes that ball through the left side for a one-out single. Bring up the catcher, Milkowski, who's doubled on the left field line her first time up.
14, Lindy Milkowski.
Milkowski came around to score after leading off the inning with that double to left. Pitch misses away, 1-0 the count. A double was the 11th of the year for Milkowski. Also has 7 home runs. Misses for a ball, 2-0 the count. Wind pretty much non-existent. Temperature has started to drop though. You can feel it out there. As the sun has gone down, temperature's probably already in the low 50s now. Headed for the 40s as they've got a frost warning in this area tonight. Swing and a miss there. Milkowski behind on that, 2-1. Ray delivers. Just fouled back out of the play. I didn't tell her to start her. Okay. Pitch fouled back. 2-2 count remains. Ray back in the circle battling right now. Fourth pitcher of the day for SIUE. Milkowski, off-speed pitch, got her to chase. Good breaking ball there. 2 down in the inning. Brings up Maddie Swart. Flew out to left field her first time up. Called strike. Swart steps back in. Off-speed pitch just misses away. 2-1-1 the count. 72 pitches already on the day here for Ray. We're only in the third inning. Pitch up high. 2-1 the count. Eastern Illinois leads 4-2. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Runner at first base, Rachel Kaufman. A one-out single to left field. Off-speed pitch misses away, 3-1. Four strikeouts so far in the game for Ray. Ripped foul play on the left side. Count remains full. Ray delivers. That pitch misses up high, and Swart draws a walk. Kaufman will move up to second. It will bring up Kendall Fields.
At bat number 19, Kendall Fields.
Pitch to Fields, fouled back out of play. Fields drew a walk and scored her first time up in the second inning. Pitch misses down low for a ball. 1-1 the count to Fields. See, Ray sets and delivers. Pitch. This is outside. Storer trying to frame that pitch. Unable to sell the home plate umpire Philip Troutman on it. Ball's popped up in the infield. Leakey calls everybody off. Make the catch, and we will head to the fourth. SIUE trailing Eastern Illinois 4-2. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Visit Evansville, Indiana, where E is for everyone. Ideal for a weekend getaway, family reunion, group tour, concert or sporting event, small business meeting, or a large convention. Evansville has a fun, friendly environment with all the amenities of a big city. Exciting events, festivals, and attractions all year long. A thriving downtown with new hotels, nightlife, fabulous restaurants, and entertainment. We're conveniently located in the heart of the Midwest with all the charm you could ever hope for. Yes, Hoosier hospitality is alive and well. Come visit Evansville, and you will see E is for everyone.
Welcome back to OVC Softball on ESPN+. We head to the fourth inning for SIUE.
At bat number 22,
It
Amber
will be
Storer.
Store, Leakey, and Cotto due up. Rachel Kaufman out there for her second inning of work in relief. Third pitcher of the day for Eastern Illinois. That pitch misses down low for a ball. Control's been an issue for the first two EIU pitchers. Coach Tara Archibald, a little shorter leash here in the second game, and a tight game right now. Top of the fourth inning, Eastern Illinois on top 4-2. Ball's chopped to the third baseman. Swart, nice glove work over there. Scoops that up. Momentum carries her towards the bag, makes a nice throw, and there's one out in the inning. Brings up Grace Leakey. 2-run home run to left field, her last time up. 320 now on the season. 11 home runs, 34 runs driven in. Pitch misses in on the hands. Leakey as a third baseman would be a type candidate for first team all OVC at that position over there, and going to be a pretty potent position this year. Lexi Osowski, who leads the league in a lot of other categories, batting average included, in the top 5 in some other power categories, also plays third base. We saw her this past weekend here at Williams Field. Cougars and Governors will play each other in a couple weeks. 2-1 the count to Leakey. Pitch fouled off the hands, back against the screen. 2-2 count. Count is 2-2 to Leakey. 1 out here in the fourth. Ball's popped up out of play. Kaufman's pitch, fouled back out of play again. On the season, Rachel Kaufman, a 3.82 ERA. Does have 3 complete games out of 11 games started. This is her 23rd appearance. Second on the team in innings pitched now. It's 70 innings for the season. 31 walks, 45 strikeouts issued. Pitch fouled back out of play again. Kaufman's off-speed pitch misses there. Count is full. On deck, Bailey Concado. Grace Leakey popped up in the infield. Kaufman calls everybody off, catches it herself. Second out of the inning. Brings up Bailey Concado.
Bailey Concado.
Concado 1 for 1 today. Singled against Kaufman the second inning, or I'm sorry, against Tegan Morio, the second pitcher of the day. Pitch is lifted to right field, giving chase and out of play. Kendall Fields, as that ball goes foul out of play. 0-2 the count. Mercado hammered a ball in the 7th inning of game number 1 that was about 5 feet shy of being a home run that would have given SIUE the lead at the time. Cano on the year came in hitting .255, 5 doubles, 2 home runs. It's added a double to that total today. Fouled off again. Kaufman now with 22 pitches, 88 total pitches you can see on your screen there thrown by the EIU combined 3 pitchers, 22 of those right now for Kaufman. Pitch is fouled, out of play again. Pitch from Kaufman, lifted into center field. Pritchard tracks it, makes the catch, makes the out, and we head to the bottom of the 4th. Eastern Illinois 4, SIUE 2. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
PTI, I need the PDF, COB, AKA EOD. What's the ETA?
ASAP, FYI.
See my IM?
TLDR.
What?
Too long, didn't read.
We don't need any more acronyms, but we could all use more ways to save.
BMX, YOLO!
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Be ready for any arena in the all-new LX600.
Welcome back. A pitching change for SIUE as we head into the 4th inning. Lexi King, who started game number 1, will be in the circle now. Micah Arps has gone in to play center field defensively for the Cougars.
For the Panthers, number 27, Riley Dittmar.
King, redshirt sophomore from Goreville. This is her 13th appearance of the season, 4.11 ERA on the year, a 4-5 record. In the opener, she threw 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Struck out 3 as Dittmar lays down a bunt. And nobody is there, and she beats that out for a hit. The first baseman charged in, and I don't think, essentially the foot race was won between Dittmar and the second baseman, Concado, and Dittmar on with a single, her second hit of the game.
At bat, number 23, Morgan Lewis.
Bring up Morgan Lewis. As Dittmar's now 2 for 2. First baseman is deep over at first base. Grace Bretveld playing back behind the bag. I wouldn't be surprised. Morgan Lewis has got great speed. I could see her possibly trying to drag a bunt down the first base line for a hit. 1-0 the count. That pitch misses in. 2-0 the count. Lewis. Ditmar on the run is safe as the ball was dropped after the slide into the plate. So Ditmar with a stolen base. I believe they called that a strike, but we'll have to wait till the home plate umpire comes back to let us know for sure. They're going to go out and ask the umpire on the call there, thinking the throw beater to the Ditmar to the bag. I say, did she tag her and then did she drop the ball? I don't know if the call was safe based on the fact that the ball was dropped, or if the umpire had called her safe based on he thought that that she beat the throw there. So the head coach for SIUE out having a conversation right now, PJ Finnegan. Now all the umpires will converse. Everybody will go have a conversation with another group of people here for a second. As the umpires will have their conversation. SIUE's defensive lineup will have its conversation. Morgan Lewis and Jalen Pritchard, the two batters at bat. And in the circle, they do call her safe after a conference. So no outs. Ditmar is at second base with the stolen base. A 2-1 count to Morgan Lewis. So we did have the count right. That ball slapped through the left side, and Ditmar is going to have to hold up there as that ball was hit hard to the left fielder Heron, and she quickly got it back in, but a base hit for Morgan Lewis, and Ditmar will move to third. 3 for 3 now is Morgan Lewis in the game. We'll bring up Jalen Pritchard.
For the Panthers, number 3, Jalen Pritchard.
With good speed, Morgan Lewis probably will be stealing here on an early pitch in the count. And have a visit to the mound from SIUE's pitching staff. So SIUE having a conference in the circle there. What they want to do defensively here with runners at the corner for Eastern Illinois. Yeah, you having a conversation about what they want to do with Jalen Pritchard at the plate, Lewis at first, and Ditmar at third. Game 2 of an OVC doubleheader here on a midweek Wednesday night. Very chilly now, Williams Field. We started at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it was sunny and 65. 3 hours, 50 minutes for game number 1. 11 innings. Eastern Illinois won 6-5. Riley Ditmar had an RBI single to right center field to walk it off for the Panthers. She's over at third base right now as she led off this inning with a hit. Off-speed pitch, called strike to Pritchard. Pritchard 0 for 2 today, had a 0 for 1, had a sacrifice fly to drive in a run in the second. Lewis is going, and the bunt is foul. So 0-2 now the count. Lewis was on the move there. Pritchard had tried to lay down a bunt, and it was foul. Lewis had looked like a pretty good jump there from first base. So 0-2 pitch to Pritchard, off-speed pitch. They throw behind to try to get Ditmar, but swing and a miss for Pritchard. Second time she's down on strikes in today's game. Stolen base for Morgan Lewis, and runners now at second and third for Hannah Cravens. Cravens had an RBI double back in the first. Flew out the left field her other time up. First pitch is a ball. King's delivery. Called strike. 1-1 pitch. Raven steps back in. Burton on deck behind her. Off-speed pitch misses there. Being the second pitcher of today's game for SIUE. Delivers. Ravens fouls that pitch off. 2-1 the count, 2-2 the count. Off-speed pitch, called strike 3. Got Cravens on the breaking ball.
For the Panthers, number 2, Megan Burton.
Brings up Meg Burton, 0 for 2 today. Here in the second game was 2 for 6 in the opener. Did have a 2-run home run in that first game. Hitting .299 now on the season. That pitch down in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Pitch misses away. 2-0 count to Burton. On deck, Rachel Kaufman, the IU's pitcher. Off-speed pitch misses there. 3-0. King's delivery. That misses as well, and Burton draws a walk. Brings Rachel Kaufman to the plate with bases loaded.
At bat, number 33, Rachel Kaufman.
Panthers lead right now 4-2. Kaufman trying to help herself. 1 for 2 today. Struck out looking in the first. Singled back in the third. Off-speed pitch. Misses down low. Lindy Milkowski on deck. That pitch misses. 2-0. Pitch misses as well. 3-0 count to Kaufman. Quick visit from the catcher Storer out Talk to our starting pitcher. Rio pitch from Kaufman. Called strike. 3-1. Kaufman hits that ball sharply, and it's going to get past the shortstop, coming all the way around to score on the error. There's Morgan Lewis moving all the way. Burton all the way around to third. Lewis comes home. Ditmar comes home.
At bat number 14, Lindy Milkowski.
SIU with 2 runs across now in the inning, both unearned. Panthers will run Michaela Kritzbaum as a pitch runner out there for Kaufman, the pitcher. Kritzbaum in the run for Kaufman. Hard hit ball that Talley unable to field cleanly. Turned into a 2-base error. Good base running there also by Lewis. Probably distracted her just a little bit in the fact that it's kind of in the line of vision. Kowski. Opportunity to add to the damage here. Check swing foul down the first baseline. Kowski with the 2-run double, or with a double to open up second inning. Struck out in the third. Off-speed pitch just misses down low, 1-1. Milkowski laces that ball. It's going to get all the way to the fence. Panthers are going to score 2 more. Milkowski digging for 2. Slides in for a double. Panthers are on top. 8-2.
For the Panthers, number 11, Maddie Swart.
So Panthers now on top, 8-2. 2 more unearned runs. That error is coming back to cost SIUE here in the inning. Second double of the game for Milkowski. First pitch turned on by Maddie Swart. Breadvelt stabs it, but not before EIU extends their lead to 8-2. We head to the 5th. EIU 8, SIUE 2. This is OVC softball on ESPN+.
I love my new home, but it might be too Victorian.
Gosh, interesting hemline on this. Pounds?
At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. I save so much.
Pardon me, Your Grace.
Oh, just call me Grace.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
Be ready for any arena in the all-new LX600.
For the Cougars, number 2, Lexi King.
Welcome back. Lexi King, who's now pitching for SIUE, steps in. She's 0 for 1 today. Did walk and steal a base back in the first. Into the second on a fielder's choice. Ball hit hard, and she will lead off the fifth with a single to right field. Leki Isalva. Slava walked twice today. Walked 5 times in the doubleheader. First pitch of ball. She had come in, walked just 4 times the entire season coming in at 129 at-bats, has walked 5 times today in the doubleheader. 2-0 the count. Lauren Islava. Lexi King with a leadoff single over at first. Ball's hit hard foul down the third base line. 2-1 the count. Take a look at the game track. That ball is laced to left field. Tracking it there is Morgan Lewis. Eastern Illinois, 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors. SIUE, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error. EIU was 6 strikeouts by its pitching staff so far. They scored 3 in the second and 4 in the fourth. Panthers lead 8-2 now. Game track is brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Brings up Grace Breitveld. He is 0 for 1 today. Popped up in the infield her first time up. Walked back in the third. Kaufman, the third pitcher here in game number 2 for EIU. That pitch misses inside. 2-0 the count. Runner over at first is Lexi King. King 10 for 12 on stolen bases this year. It's fouled back to the screen. Abby Stallhut over at first base. He came in defensively last game and then also came in defensively in this game as Kaufman went to the circle. That pitch misses inside, 3-1. Fouled back to the screen again. 3-2. It's a full count. Pause. It just passed the glove of Kaufman, who reached out, just couldn't quite get to it. A slow roller, and they're able to get King the lead runner there. She had to hold up just for a second to make sure that wasn't caught and she didn't get doubled off.
Jenna Herron.
So 2 out. Brett Veld is at first base now. It will bring up Jenna Herron. Laid down a sacrifice bunt her last time up. Popped up in the infield her first time. First pitch turns on, lifts a mile high. Down the left field line, foul, but Lewis camps out underneath it. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. Eastern Illinois leading 8-2. This is OVC Softball on ESPN+.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Whenever you want to go, you're good. So when they're ready. Pitching change, and now third pitcher of the game for SIUE. Mia Haynes, sophomore from Burke, Virginia. First game, she threw 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. That was in the 11th inning. She walked 3, struck out 2. Came into the weekend. This is her 27th appearance overall. 6-15 on the year, 4.55 ERA. Yeah, you will have a pinch hitter here. Marama Makia will hit for Kendall Fields.
For the Panthers, number 4, Marama Makia.
Marama Makia, New Zealand native, will step in to lead off. She'll hit for Kendall Fields, most likely go out and play in the outfield defensively too, the remainder of the game after this. That pitch misses up top for a ball. That pitch misses up high again. 2-0 the count to Marama Makia. Riley Ditmar, who's 2 for 2s on deck. Called strike. 2-1 count. One pitch from Haynes. Good drop ball, called strike there. Yeah, thought that was a little bit out of the zone, and it dropped in there at the last second. Nice pitch there from Haynes. Saw that in the first game in relief a couple times to a few batters. Check swing there. Yeah, saw it was a drop ball off speed and just kind of check swinged it foul. Fouls that ball off against the screen again. Makia steps back in. Off speed, drop ball called in there. Throws Makia, and she's down on strikes. Brings up Riley Ditmar, who's 2 for 2.
Panthers number 27, Riley Ditmar.
Ditmar has been on twice and scored twice. That pitch misses out. 1-0 the count. The 1-1 now the count. Pitch was a called strike. It sounded like he had set out of the zone on it. That pitch misses there, 2-1. Ditmar steps back in, 2 for 2 in this game. Game-winning hit in the 11th inning. Game number 1. Ball's hit softly to Concado. Scoops it up and makes the play. 2 down in the inning. Brings up Morgan Lewis, who's 3 for 3 today. Now hitting .375 on the season.
At bat number 23, Morgan Lewis.
2 stolen bases in today's game, 3 for 3, has scored 2 runs. First pitch misses for a ball. Sets, delivers. Lewis looks at that pitch up high, 2-0 the count. .3-0 pitch. Nope, it's called strike there too. So that pitch in the dirt, 3-1 the count now. That ball's going to get into shallow. Looked like it was hit farther than that. Looked like it was getting into shallow center field, and I think it threw Tally off too as she took a few steps back. Ended up landing just shallow of second base there, so 4 for 4 for Lewis now at the plate today. Sounded like it was hit harder than it was off the plate, off the bat. Brings up Jalen Pritchard. Lewis gets a big jump off the bag at first. Set to follow Pritchard if she can get on is Cravens and then Burton. That pitch misses there, 2-0 to Jalen Pritchard. Eight to 2, Eastern Illinois leads. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Game number 2 of an OVC doubleheader. Lewis is going. And it's thrown out. Caught stealing there at second base. That will end the inning. We will head to the sixth. Eastern Illinois leading SIUE 8-2. This is OVC softball on ESPN+.
PTI, I need the PDF, COB, aka EOD. What's the ETA?
ASAP, FYI.
See my IM?
TLDR.
What?
Too long. Didn't read.
We don't need any more acronyms, but we could all use more ways to save.
DMX, YOLO!
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Junior with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
Top of the sixth inning, Eastern Illinois and SIUE. It'll be Tally, Haynes, and Storr. 7, 8, 9 in the order for the Cougars here. Eastern Illinois holds a 8-2 to lead. Game number 2 of an OVC doubleheader. Rachel Kaufman, third pitcher of the game out there for Eastern Illinois. That pitch ripped from Tally, and Stallhut sticks the glove up and makes the catch. One down in the inning.
At bat number 13, Mia Haynes.
Brings up Mia Haynes. Haynes the pitcher now for Eastern Illinois, or for SIUE. That ball's ripped foul down the left field line. Storr on deck. Haynes 0 for 1 today, did walk and came around to score in the second inning. Swing and a miss there. Haynes chases that fastball. 0-2 the count. Kaufman 1 strikeout since she came in. Pitch misses down low. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch, fouled away. Do it again. Swing and a miss. Haynes down on strikes. 2 down in the inning. Second strikeout for Rachel Kaufman. Going to be a pinch hitter for SIUE. Ashlyn Betts, freshman from Alton. Transfer from Valparaiso. Betts 1 for 8 on the season, just hitting 125. Does have 1 run driven in.
For the Cougars, number 33, Ashlyn Bett.
He will pinch hit for Store here. Two outs in the inning here in the sixth. Hoffman delivers. First pitch called strike. Hoffman delivers. Ball's fouled out of play. 0-2 the count. Betts will step back in. Ball's ripped in to left center field. Diving forward is Pritchard. It's going to get down to the fence. Stand up double for Betts. Pritchard laid out, but that ball was going to get down into the fence pretty easily there. Good piece of hitting by Betts. It'll bring up Grace Leakey. Her two-run home run back in the second inning produced all the offense in the game for the Cougars. Her 11th home run of the year. That ball ripped foul a mile down the left field line. Kaufman steps back in. Leakey steps back into the box. 0-1 the count. Called strike on the inner half. 0-2 now quickly the count. Hoffman able to probably nibble around the edges here for a pitch or two. Just called strike three. Leakey down on strikes. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Eastern Illinois leading SIU 8-2. This is OVC softball on ESPN+.
Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score some great savings on car insurance. Whoa! Oh, hole in one.
Geico. See all the ways you could save.
I want ice cream.
Seriously?
I'm gonna drive to get my ice cream.
No, you're not. Play with this.
No, I'm driving.
Really? Drinking and driving? How old are you?
I'm a big boy.
The BK $5 Your Way meal is here to make your choice easy and so tasty. Go straight to the Double Whopper Junior with piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small drink. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal, only at Burger King.
We're not really ready yet, but that's okay. I guess play the music. Yeah, just go ahead. Go ahead. That's fine. We're not ready to play yet, guys. Welcome back to OVC Softball on ESPN+. Jalen Pritchard leading off here in the 6th inning. It'll be Pritchard, Cravens, and Burton. The pitch misses inside. Quickly the count 2-1. Pritchard. The pitch misses there. 3-1 the count. That pitch misses inside, and Pritchard draws a leadoff walk here in the 6th.
For the Panthers, number 10, Hannah Cravens.
The defensive lineup change made for SIUE, that was what they were talking about there, is the Cougars had put in Smith, Katie Smith, to play defensively at shortstop for Tally. Cravens fouls that pitch off her foot. Cravens 0 for 2 now. 1 for 3 in the game right now. A RBI double back in the 1st inning. 0-2 the count to her. A pitch down in the dirt. Gets away, and Pritchard able to advance. On the wild pitch, Pritchard advances down to second base. That pitch misses away. The 2-2 the count to Cravens. Megan Burton on deck. That pitch misses up top. 3-2 the count. That pitch misses away, and Cravens works her way all the way back to draw a walk. Brings up Meg Burton. Burton a 2-run home run in the 1st game.
For the Panthers, number 2, Megan
0 for 2 today. Did walk and score back in the 4th. Panthers a lead right now, 8-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Burton lays a bunt down and fouls it off. Burton right now more so trying to put runners in scoring position so the 2 run batters after her may be able to try to win the game by run rule here. Burton lays down a bunt and bunts it foul again. Foul back to the screen. So 0-2 pitch from Haynes to Burton. Ball's tap foul. Leakey picks it up. Fortunate there for the Panthers as the lead runner would have been out. Possibly an opportunity to turn two. Rachel Kaufman, the pitcher, on deck. SIU unable to win by run rule here in this inning. It'll be 2-3-4 in the order due up for SIU, their last chance in the seventh. That pitch misses inside. That pitch gets away. Go to throw behind Pritchard. She got caught out there and was able to scamper back to the bag. 2-2 the count. Burton sees that pitch up and out of the zone. Full count. Good at bat here from last year's OVC Player of the Year. Yeah, Haynes. Full count pitch down in the dirt. Burton draws a walk. Bases are loaded.
For the Panthers, number 33, Rachel Kaufman.
Kaufman with an opportunity to help herself here. As SIUE's pitchers and infield will go out quickly for a meeting. They've already used 3 pitchers in this game. I don't think I've seen Sydney Ballman warming up here to come out of the bullpen, so Haynes is going to be out there by herself for right now. The count is full for Rachel Kaufman. No outs here. Bases are loaded. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Panthers score 2 and they walk off the game. Pitch for a ball. SIU won the first game in 11 innings, 6-5. Called strike. 1-1 the count. Called strike on the inner half again. 1-2 the count to Kaufman. Bases are loaded here as Kaufman will rip that ball to left field. That's going to get around for a RBI, 2-run single, and the Panthers will walk off the game, winning 10-2 over SIUE. So Rachel Coffin gets the game-winning hit in game number 2, also gets the win in the circle for Eastern Illinois. The Panthers will improve to 23-26 overall. They're now 8-14 in the OVC. Rachel Kaufman picks up the win. She improves to 4-8 on the year. SIUE falls to 15-30 overall. They are now 6-16 in the OVC. The losing pitcher is Kelsey Ray. She falls to 1-3 on the year. That's going to wrap up the doubleheader here for EIU and SIUE. The Panthers won game number 1 6-5 in 11 innings. They can win this game 10-2. They walk it off and run rule the Cougars. So saying so long from Charleston, where the final score was Eastern Illinois 10, SIUE 2. Reminder that all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Thanks for watching. Yippee. You guys wanted it. We did it.